Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to try to make a couple new figures today, and this is going to involve a little bit of cutting and chopping. I'm going to take, what I'm going to try and make are the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. Now, I've tried some before, and I didn't really like how they turned out, so I'm going to make them into something else. So I'm going to take the arm of Hillbilly Jim, and I'm going to put it over here on the Iron Sheik, and we're going to make Road Warrior Animal, and then we're going to use a Paul Orndorff figure, which I need to buy one because I don't have any extras. We're going to make a hawk out of him. So a friend gave me an idea for this and said I could use it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the first step is I'm going to cut, or I have cut, the arm of Hillbilly Jim off, and I'm going to match it up. I'm going to cut the arm off of Iron Sheik. Just using an X-Acto knife, it's worked out pretty well. This rubber is not too difficult, as you can see. And so I'm going to do a little surgery, and we'll come back and see how it goes. All right, so here's how far I've gotten already. I've made quite a mess. I reattached Hillbilly Jim's arm to Iron Sheik. What I did is I took a piece of nail and stuck it on one through, and then one right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to milliput around it to see if I can get it any more even. I'm having a little bit of struggle with this, but the milliput should hold it in place. And then I may just have to cut around or just kind of level it off as much as I can. So the body paint is going to be obviously repainted, so that should be okay as long as the epoxy fills in everything else. One thing that you do want to be careful of is using your X-Acto knife, because X-Acto knife likes to X-Acto a lot of blood out of your finger when you slice it. So kids, be careful if you're using an X-Acto knife. All right, so I've been on the struggle bus for these figures. Working on the Road Warrior / LOD. I guess it all depends on what kind of paint job I'm going to throw on them. Two of them, I've showed you a little bit of clips, but I'm getting lazy, I guess, or forgetful, and not showing everything that I've done. So the animal, I think I've got a clip of it on here before. Forgive me if I'm out of order or anything, and yeah, the Buckeyes are on in the background. Here is Animal. He actually was, believe it or not, an Iron Sheik, and I cut the arm off of Hillbilly Jim, and then I molded it onto here. Had to do some sanding, and I don't think that ended up too bad. Had to go over it a couple times with the little Dremel here, and it did work pretty well, and he keeps falling over because he's got weird feet. But anyways, not too bad, but my biggest problem right now is stupid spider. This spider little design is just driving me insane. So for like the 5th time, I'm going to try to actually do it, and I'm going to put the lettering on for the Legion of Doom, and I'm going to try to do their red work on the side. I just can't find a very good example of what they look like. And there's the back side to him. Again, I think he looks pretty good. Not too bad for an animal. At least I'll be able to cover up any kind of little dings on him with the heavyweight belt. The red I've been using is Flamenco Red. The white that I've used is the Snow White. The yellow is Pale Daffodil, which I've got a little bit on his face, and that's also the same red. The black is a Jet Black. So this really isn't that hard to do. It just takes a little while to adjust his arm. God darn it, it keeps falling over. To get his arm set, and then he's pretty good. Now, here's where I'm in a bit of a conundrum. I've got 2 hawks, one clearly an Iron Sheik, who I liked more and more as I started to work on him. Just added the milliput for the hair, and then for the tongue, a little bit for the mustache, and he looks pretty good. I mean, you put the 2 side by side, and it's not too bad. But then somebody else did the Paul Orndorff hawk, and so I tried it too, but I had to shave his head down with the Orndorff hair, and then put the milliput on, and then make ears, and it just looks like he's Beldar the Egghead from Saturday Night Live. I think I like this pose better, but just that big old pumpkin head isn't doing me any favors, because I like how muscular he is in this. And maybe if I do some shading, and I might do that with both of these guys that I can get it a little bit better. Like I'll go over the musculature with this peach color, and then like a lighter shade of brown. Maybe that'll bring it out. So I'll give that a shot. So there's your longer update on this one. All right, so here's the finished product on the Road Warrior / Legion of Doom. With that design for his face mask. I don't know, face paint, I guess. There's this leg paint. The guy who wanted that design more so than like the straight one line down the side, although I kind of preferred that a little bit better. There's Animal. And there's Hawk. I think Hawk turned out pretty well. Anything that's non-typical to the Sheik is Milliput, or the epoxy that I used. There's his backside. Looks pretty good. There you go. All right, so no cutting or anything on this figure. The only thing that I did do is I carved out his, sorry, big fat hand in the way, his mouth a little bit so I could put the tongue in a little bit better. Now with this one, I mean, it's still a Sheik, but it's not that noticeable. You can see that his arm's a little bit puffy. That's just the way it is. It ended up because of the amount of milliput that you had to put on there, and the fact that it's Hillbilly Jim's arm, so it's a little bit bigger. I think next time I might try to shave that down a little bit, but I mean, it really didn't turn out too bad. And once you drape the tag team belt on it, can't notice it, can you? So not too bad. But anyways, they're both Sheiks. I like how they both turned out. This one I'm going to sell. I've already got sold to a guy, and then I'll probably make my own. So there you go. I like how they look, and I've always wanted a Legion of Doom Road Warriors, and we've got one now.